Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you what glues to use to attach different types of embellishments to your hair bows. So things like clays, flatback resins, rhinestones, pearls, all these kind of things. All of the glues and adhesives I show in this tutorial, I will link them in the description below. I will also link the tutorials to the hair bows that I show in this video. So first of all, today we're going to look at these larger gemstone pearl cluster type embellishments and how to attach these to bows. So to attach these, I like to use a mix of two glues, hot glue and gemstone glue. Now the gemstone glue is really good. It's really good for obviously gemstones. And then hot glue works really well with felt. So first of all, we are going to cut off a little piece of scrap felt. So I've just cut off this little piece of blue scrap felt and I'm going to use my hot glue and I'm going to place this in the centre of my pearl rhinestone embellishment. Hot glue works really well with felt, so that is now glued on there, and having that on there will give that an immediate hold. And then this gemstone glue takes 15 hours to set, but it's got a really good strong hold on rhinestones. So I like to place this all around the edge. So squeezing the bottle, I'm going to place the gemstone glue all around that piece of felt. And then I'm just going to set that aside. And then I'm going to take my hot glue and again place it over the top of the felt. So the felt is sandwiched in between the two lots of hot glue, and the gemstone glue is around the edges. I'm just going to place this in the centre of my flower bow. And what this does is the hot glue will give this an immediate blonde, whilst the gemstone glue takes 15 hours to set. But once that sets, that gemstone will have a really good hold on that bow. So there it is. That's how I attach these type of embellishments. Next we're going to look at these resin flatback embellishments. So I've got here this little ice cream piggy made from resin, and I'm going to use a mix of hot glue and Gorilla Super Glue gel. So I've cut a little piece of square or rectangle felt, and I've attached this using my hot glue. As I always say, hot glue and felt works really well together. Although if I show you, you can peel off the felt from this shiny, smooth, flatback surface. But as you can see, the felt is actually tearing. It's leaving some of the felt behind. So that's what I mean by it does work really well with felt. But the reason I don't use this alone is because it can be torn off if you really wanted to. If a child wanted to pull it off, they could. So this is where the super glue gel comes in. So you shake the glue first. I've already done that. I'm just going to remove the lid and I'm going to place this around the edges of the felt. So just see where it's going to touch my bow. So it's mainly the outer edges. So on the outer side edges of the felt, I'm going to squeeze some of this gel consistency glue so it doesn't run. It's quite good. I might also place a little bit just at the top where the felt meets the embellishment, and also a little at the bottom where the felt meets the embellishment. So all around that piece of felt now I've got that super glue gel, and then I'm going to take my hot glue again and place it in the centre on top of the felt. So this is the same as last time. The hot glue acts as an immediate bond whilst the super glue sets, and then you know that that is now stuck nice and securely on your hair bow. So that is how you attach those resin flatback embellishments. Now we are going to look at clays and also small resins or pearls. So I've got this gorgeous mermaid clay which I'm going to stick onto my bow using a mix of Gorilla Super Glue gel and hot glue. So same kind of method as before. We're going to take a piece of scrap felt. This has got a sticky back, so ignore the fact it's got a sticky back. I'm going to peel that off. Just use a piece of scrap felt. Just keep all your offcuts. I'm going to stick this on the side loop, so I'm just checking where it touches the bow. And I'm going to cut a nice long strip for this one because it's quite a big embellishment, and because it's going on the loop, it's going to touch quite a lot of the bow. So obviously if you're sticking it in the middle of the bow, you won't need some bigger piece of felt. So using this longer piece of felt, I'm going to stick it right down her head and towards her body. Again, we're going to use the hot glue for this because hot glue and felt, as we keep saying, works very well together. So hot gluing that down her hair and her body. So that is now stuck down well. And now we're going to take the Gorilla Glue gel. Again, just give it a shake and just take the lid off. And we are going to place this around the edges of the felt. So again, I'm just checking where it's touching my bow. If you were sticking it in the middle, you wouldn't need to stick as much on as I am, but because I'm sticking mine again on the loop, I'm going to stick quite a lot of this glue on down all of the sides beside the piece of felt. A little bit above the top as well, because that's going to touch the loop also. I've just given it a check. And then once you're happy with the placement of the glue, we can then put that aside. Grabbing our hot glue gun again, we're going to stick this on the felt, just the felt area. So not mixing the two glues, we are just using them in different areas so that we get those two different bonds. So again, as I keep saying, the hot glue will hold this immediately whilst that Gorilla Glue sets. The Gorilla Glue doesn't take too long to set, but obviously the longer you leave it, the better. So I've just slid my fingers inside the loop so that I don't flatten my lovely bow, and pressing that on there. And next we are going to have a little play. I've got these smaller resins and I've got some little pearls. So I'll show you how I stick these on also. So you can use gemstone glue for the pearls, but I'm going to carry on with my my super glue gel because that also works well on the pearls. If I was sticking the pearls onto a fabric bow such as ribbon, I would use the rhinestone glue for the pearls, but as I'm sticking it on this fabric bow, I'm going to keep to the super glue. So as you can see, I'm cutting a small little piece of felt. This is for my starfish, and the reason I'm doing this is because I'm sticking it on the tulle layer, and because the tulle layer is sort of porous, it's got sort of holes in the tulle fabric, I wanted to use a little bit of the felt on there just to make sure it doesn't all seep through. So again, super glue around the edge and hot glue on that little piece of felt, and I'm going to stick this on that tulle layer. And now we're going to stick the pearls on, and I'm going to just use the super glue gel for the pearls. If I was sticking these on a ribbon bow or a fabric bow, I would use gemstone glue for the pearls, but because they're on this canvas fabric, I'm using the Gorilla Glue for these. So that is that bow. So just to show you, for little rhinestones and pearls on a fabric bow such as ribbon, so like this ribbon flower here, you can either stick a little pearl in the middle or a rhinestone, whichever you're using. I would go for the gemstone glue rather than the super glue gel. So this little rhinestone, I'm going to grab my gemstone glue. Again, this is a really good glue, but it takes 15 hours to set. So I'm going to take the gemstone glue, I'm going to place a blob on the back of my rhinestone, and then place it on the bow where I want it. You don't want to smush it into the bow so that the glue seeps out. You want to lay it on the bow just gently so it sits on the glue without pushing it down. And then you want to set that aside for at least 15 hours. And then once that glue sets, that gem shouldn't budge. Lastly, we're going to look at a fully embellished rhinestone bow. So a ribbon bow with rhinestones all over it. For this, I use a hot fix tool. So I got this hot fix tool online. I will link everything that I use in the description under this video. And I've got a selection of rhinestones in different colours. These are all hot fix rhinestones. So as you can see, they've got like a black sort of coating on the back. And this is the glue that the hot fix tool will melt, and then it will stick to your bow. Once the glue is cooled, it will be stuck on there very well. Now, before I briefly run through how to use the applicator tool, I do have a full tutorial, so I'll pop a link up in the corner now. So you pick the size of the rhinestone that you want on your bow and you attach the head to the applicator tool accordingly to match your rhinestone size. You then heat it up, pick up the gemstone, keep an eye on the dark coating of glue on that gemstone. So it's matte to begin with, and then once you see that glue start to turn glossy at the tip here, that means it's ready to attach to your bow. I've got a bit of sellotape on my finger, and this is just to protect my finger from the heat. You'll see why. So I'm going to pick the bow up, decide where I want to put the gem, using my protected finger, placing it behind where I want the gem, and then just touch it on there briefly, make sure it's stuck in place, and that is that. Then you just let that gem cool down, and then that glue will then be set. And that is a quick way of applying lots of gemstones to a bow. If you found this tutorial helpful today, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more useful videos just like this one. I'll be back again soon.